Success. Your biological age has been calculated. What that is? Here's the paywall.
Click here to enter your credit card number.
That's right.
All right, so welcome to Vibes Coding with Dr. Dan. What shall we build first?
I have maybe something we could do.
Let's go.
So I work on the BioLearn library, which allows you to run multiple clocks as well as loading up publicly available data. But one thing we've talked about is actually just building a simple web application that uses the library and allows people to upload a set of methylation data, runs it through some set of clocks, and then returns the result to the user. So people who obviously this is very easy to do with the library, but people who have no Python knowledge, they're just like biologists and they have some methylation data and they'd like to see what the clocks say about this methylation data. Is the output like some graphs you said, or it would be for every sample provided, it would be like a number. Biological age, the clock says you are 70 or this person is 70, whoever they are. We don't know who they are. Okay. Interesting. I would say at this point that this seems really like it fits the kind of thing I had in mind. But maybe Suraj, you want to offer a third option? Let's see what we have here.
So I'm interested in generally building APIs for making foundation models accessible more easily, and so something like building an API for doing calculating pseudo perplexity on protein sequences using ESM2 or something like that. That's actually specifically what I'm doing right now. Trying to do.
I confess my full ignorance of that.
That's I'm learning about this stuff on the fly. So
I wrote those words, you see, but I have no idea what they mean together.
I think the underlying need is the same for Seth's example and mine, where we need to access some tool that's out there, or maybe build an API to make it accessible to the users.
Okay, so if you guys are okay with that, I think the moment I saw web app, that sounded like the best demonstration of the kind of coding that I'm talking about. It applies to all of the others, but it's going to be way less impactful or inspiring if you're just going to see a bunch of bash scripts running, right? As opposed to, wow, there's a visual interface and you can click on things. That tends to get a lot more, certainly a lot more views. But we'll
all right, let's try it.
If you guys are okay, I think this is actually a pretty good candidate. Like a web interface to a library that we also will need to make run, right? We'll need to get it from somewhere and turn it into an API, presumably.
Perfect.
Right?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So this is where I would bring in Mr. Claude over here, and I would try to explain to Claude what it is that I'm doing, right? So what was the name of the library, Seth? BioLearn. 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 Yeah. Okay. Yep. So, okay. This is literally why I would do this. At this point, I'd say, so I am trying to build an API interface to a library that already exists for Python called BioLearn, and I want to make a visual interface to it. I want to make a web app that accesses it. And I want you to write me a PRD for this, what it would look like to upload a bunch of methylation data and get for every sample a score or number displayed. This is just me repeating what we said earlier in voice, but now it's text. And I think that's that, right? Blah, blah. So what does methylation data look like? Like, what are these files?
It's going to be a matrix, probably a large matrix. So for each sample, it's going to have maybe 1 million numbers.
Okay, so it's going to be some CSV,
and those numbers are going to be between 0 and 1. Yeah, well, ideally it should be a CSV, where the columns are going to be samples and the rows are going to be methylation sites.
Cool. Now, I guess we also, you would know this, but I don't. So I need to find out what this BioLearn library looks like. presumably there's a GitHub somewhere.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
But where's the actual GitHub?
It's linked in the documentation.
There
page.
it is.
It's also right
I
there.
found this one. Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
So I guess first thing would be for me to actually get this and know how to run it locally. But I can also, let's leave this for later. Let's just do this for now and say, please write me a basic short PRD. PRD is a project requirements document, which is what a product manager product requirements document, which a product manager would produce before handing it to engineering, right? So it's like, make me a PRD, omit timelines, because it will normally tell you this will take 3 weeks to implement, which of course will take us 30 seconds. But focus on backend.
It's just grabbing numbers that it's seen on other PRDs.
Yeah. Oh, yes, exactly. That's what it does. All right, so it will just give us something.
PRDs never have this will take 5 minutes to implement. They've never seen PRD.
That's exactly right. Okay, well, we get a bunch of stuff here. Okay, blah. Oh, we're going to use Fast API. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so now we copy this. And now we go to our friend Cursor, and we're going to make a new project. No, how do I make a new project? I guess I'll have to create a directory. Is that how it works? Okay, hold on. So I go here.
You said you usually use what, Lovable or whatever to
Yes,
create
for
the
the front end. For the front end, yes.
Okay.
What we're gonna call this? We're gonna go, I don't know, file learn. GUI. Is that a good enough name? Let's go with that one. This is gonna be our project. Okay. So we're gonna just get this thing over here. We're gonna use Composer. We're gonna use Composer in agent mode. I'm gonna go like, okay, build me this. Right. And that's it. And now we wait. And now it's going to make you a bunch of files, and there's going to be your backend. I haven't even read the PRD, so I have no idea if it's done a bunch of dumb stuff. But
do you normally read the PRD?
Yes.
Okay. So
this is just for demonstration mode.
We're accelerating this a little bit.
So
we may not get what we want.
We're speed running to see what happens. But okay, it's doing some basic stuff. It's starting a virtual env. Okay, all these basic backend things. Blah. Okay, that sounds very good. In fact, I actually want to modify a thing, but I'll let it finish for now. I wanted to use, oh no, never mind. It's using PDM. All good. I wanted to tell it to use PDM, which is a nicer package manager than pip. I don't know if you guys have wrangled packages in Python, but it's a pain. Like managing your virtual env and the versions and stuff like can get messy. My favorite right now is PDM. Other people are using UV and have many good things to say about it, but for now, PDM is doing it for me. So, okay, we got a bunch of stuff. Hardcore. Are you installing?
Actually, honestly, I'm manually editing my PyProject.toml whenever I want to add
no.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean requirements text? Because that's what.
No, PyProject.toml.
Okay, so then you are using poetry or something.
No, I don't use poetry.
No?
Pip supports PyProject.toml.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Was that need to install?
Maybe it didn't used to, but it does now.
I don't know why it's doing. Oh, it's actually creating the front end as well. Well, I didn't expect that, but I guess we're getting the front end as well. Let's see what the front end looks like. I haven't even read the PRD, right? But oh, look.
And all you asked for was a number. You didn't ask for you didn't specify where the number was supposed to come from. You just asked for a number.
I said we're going to use that library. I said I want to, give me a PRD, and then
yes, but the library has many functions that can generate numbers.
True. I mean, I don't expect this to actually finish right now. Hold on, because it's just I just hit the button to update cursor, which I shouldn't have done. But give it a second. It's coming back. All right. Is it back? Okay, can you continue? Yeah. Okay, it was actually doing the whole thing. Should we just run this? Let's continue. Oh no, code base not indexed. Indexing. Okay. Cool. Let's see what it does. I'm very curious to see what comes out of a full one
so
shot.
So is Cursor like its own full GUI?
Yeah. Well, it's Visual
IDE.
It's Visual Studio Code with a bunch of plugins. But
so you're using VS Code, and Cursor plugs into VS Code.
But you don't download it as VS Code. You download it as Cursor. Like it comes as one app, but it is just VS Code.
they're taking VS Code, customizing it for you, and handing it to you, and saying, "Here is Cursor's IDE."
Yeah. So this is the VS Code settings that you can see here, and then if you click this button, you get the cursor settings. You see how it's like you get the normal VS Code thing here. You also get the normal VS Code plugins and here extensions. You see the extensions here. It's exactly the same thing because it's open source and anyone can do anything they want with it, but it comes with a plugin pre-built and blah, blah. Cool. So has it finished? Where are we? Still installing. Current directory not empty. Cancel operation. Remove existing files and continue. Let's do that. Cool. All right. So it gave us backend and front end. Look at that. It's both. Did it figure out how to run anything? Let's see. Main. What does main GUI do? Nothing. Okay, that's useful. Init empty. Okay, API core. So it's still working on stuff. Let's install the front end. Okay, it's gone full front end right now. Well, while Cursor keeps doing things, let's look at Lovable because we spoke of it. And let's say, of course, at this point, what I would really need to actually use it would be the okay, forget about the front end. Make sure stop. Make sure you finished the back end. Let's go. All right. Test API. Okay, now it's going to fill those files. Because in order to build the front end, you actually need the backend endpoints. You need to know what those look like. And maybe before we do the front end, we should have some tests that tell us that the whole thing is working locally, right? Do we have some test data that you know where to get?
BioLearn can load up test data.
So it comes with it, or do I have to download it from somewhere?
Well, you'll have to download it from somewhere.
And that somewhere will be linked in the repo.
If you go to the source, if you go to the documentation page,
I'm on it.
Can you like give your cursor or documentation page and be like, here's an example of code to use. So if you go to examples,
yep,
and then go to omics biomarker example at the top, and then go to epigenetic clocks and geodata, the third.
Right.
Yep. So this one is basically an example of what we want to do. This is loading some data there on the first line, but what we actually want is to receive that data as input, run it through some clocks, just like it's doing here. And then actually, let's have it do this plot. That would be great too. So give them the numbers and do a plot. They may not actually have the age associated. Well, forget the plot. Just give them the numbers back.
Okay. Let's see. Still writing code. It's still doing things. It's gone into like using Celery, which I don't think is necessary. I should have reviewed that PRD. Like, okay, learning because it's gone into full like multi-processing mode, which it totally shouldn't. That okay, whatever. Let's see.
Sometimes when you try to go fast, you end up going slower.
That's right. That's right. Completely agree. Okay, well, at least it gave us some basic thing here, but it doesn't have any useful endpoints. Okay, router. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, finally, let's create a README. Oh, that's it. It hasn't really done anything. That's fine. Now I'm going to say read this example and make sure to implement every endpoint needed to do this. Install the library, etc. Cool. Let's go. And it should be able to read it read the website. It's installing the library, BioLearn. Let's see how long this takes. And hopefully should be able to just follow this, like just create, some backend endpoint that just runs that and takes whatever is needed as parameters. Okay, you know what we can do is we can go to Lovable and say, why don't you load? What's going on? This one's not loading. What's happening? Is Lovable down? Oh no, it's unresponsive. But why? Oh, there it is. All right. Okay, I need a dynamic page where you can upload a CSV, and it sends that to a backend endpoint. Let's call it, so what shall we call it? Guessing of what? Epigenetic. What should we call it?
Epigenetic. Wait, what do we want to name the
I was going to call it score. And it gets back.
Let's call it open clocks.
Open clocks. And it gets back a number and a graph.
Oh, that's the name of the endpoint.
Yeah.
Oh, calculate clock or calculate bioage? I don't know. Get bioage?
How about that?
Sure.
It gets back a number and a graph. Is that right?
Let's just get the numbers.
Okay. And then the spinner as well.
I guess we could do a bar graph. How? Maybe we should just do a single sample. Then we could do a bar graph.
Okay, we start with one sample, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Let me drag and drop to. Cool. Right, let's go. So while that does things, is this done? No, it's still implementing. Yep, but here we're getting the endpoints finally implemented. That's nice. So this is our new file with all the stuff. I don't even know what all this is. Sample, reanalyze, sample ID, sample. I'm not sure what this even does. I'm gonna ask it in a second. Okay. Now explain to me how I can send a CSV from the front end and just get the estimated age back as a number. There it is. So we got our code for how to call. Yeah, it's API samples, sample ID. What is it? Oh, so first you need to upload. Okay, I get it. First you need to upload it, then it stores it, and then based on the ID that you got from the backend on the sample they uploaded. Yeah, so it's not like a one-off, it's not just transactional. It decided to store it.
I think it's because we said there would be a million numbers.
Maybe that's why.
It's actually been a problem with we're working with a company that's providing an API driven clock, and we can't just directly upload the data because it's too big for them. And we're not even uploading we're not even uploading all the sites for the samples. We're like trimming it down to like 60,000, and it's still a problem.
Right. Cool. So, well, okay, here's how I would do it front end. I'm just gonna go lovable and go like update the code called backend to fit this. Blah. Let me actually copy more because we need some more context. Okay. Right. Let's go. Now this should change that, and maybe I can just run this on localhost. It already installed everything. I need a new run configuration. But no, don't run now. No, I want it. Yeah, sure. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go here and say create a run. Just to run. Let's go.
Sorry, why are you doing this?
So I need to run this. I want to run it inside VS Code so I get the debug so I can stop it in certain lines. But VS Code is being dumb and it's here and says no configurations. See, I can't actually edit. There's a file that you need to edit to check. Like you define the parameters there, like what you're running and how you're running it. and it's not giving me the freaking file. It should be open here, and it's not happening. So instead, I told Cursor agent to actually write me that file. It's like, okay, the interface is being dumb. Just write me the file. I was like, okay, here it is. And now I can open this file, and I can finally say, okay, this is a debug UI. It's going to run this. Okay. And now, see, now I have this here that I didn't have before. So now I can run it as a fast API, except it will fail because, and this is an error. I'm like, okay, here's an error. Fix it. Yeah. Typically, blah, blah. Let me check, let me fix. Okay. In the meantime, this guy has finished. Cool. And I should be able to download something. You said there was something here I can download?
Yeah,
Or I
data
don't need to?
library.get is going to pull data.
But I want a file. So do I have to just run this, or is the file somewhere I can download so I can drag and drop?
There is no file. Well, I don't even know. I'm not sure what format that's expecting it to be in at this point. There's no file you're going to directly download that's going to work for
it's right here.
the API we
Right.
just built.
How about
None of those. None of
no?
those. No.
Damn. Okay. Any idea where I could find one?
As I said, there's no file you're going to be able to download that's going to exactly match the format, I don't think, that we just described.
Literally have to do this, yeah?
And that's still not going to be in the right format. It's going to be, so that's going to have, because that's going to have metadata associated with it that we don't care about. So we're actually going to want to take that, pull off the methylation data, and then if we want to do a single sample, we're going to take a single column, and then we can write that to a CSV file, and then we'll have a CSV file.
All right, so 1 second. Let's say that this might have been fixed. Seems to be running. No, invalid request. Damn. Meeting will end in 10 minutes. Attribute names reserved. Yes, it is. Of course it is. What are you doing here, metadata? You know you can't use that name. Yes, I know. And so do you. Why did you do this? Well, I guess we have to wait while that runs. So in the meantime, basically, we need to run this, download it, save it, modify it, and then use it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I want this to finish for once so I can use it again. I mean, I guess I could open another cursor window, but okay, applying this. Stop the server. Yep. Okay. It just made a really silly mistake, which it shouldn't have made, but okay. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'll fix this later. Now what I do is I create a new thingy, and I'm like, make me a file to run this, save that file locally as a CSV, and remove. What do we remove? What do we keep? Do you know what columns we keep?
So extract the dnam property off of the data, take a single column from it, and then save that to a CSV.
Okay. So to run this, extract a single column. Which one?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
They're just each column is a sample, and we just want one sample, right? So we wanted one sample.
Okay, first one, yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
But you also like data is not a data frame. Like it has data frames on it. It's an object.
Okay.
So we need to take data.dnam, DNAM.
TNAM. Okay. Well, let's go with this first. So I have a file. Cool. Data is actually an object. Well, isn't it as simple as me just going here? Data is data.
Yeah.
Like that? That's
Yep.
it?
Yeah, sure.
easy enough. And no, stop. Okay, so I could run this now, and I could save it as, yep, first column. Let's go. And it's running, and there's an error because it didn't install Seed. Why do I need Seedborn?
What do you need? Seaborn?
Seaborn for like visualizations. Did we ever do anything with that?
If you just pulled in the data from the example, then it uses it to render that chart, I believe.
Okay, that's probably why. Okay, well, let's install it anyway. Okay, installed. Let's try to run this again. Is it big? This data? Is it big data? So I have some random file like this one, and I have this here, and it's running the sandbox. Come on, sandbox. By the way, the cool thing here is you can just hit publish, and it will make you a website where you could just directly go and share that with the internet at large. It saves you a bunch of trouble deploying things. Just click this button, and then you'll get this as a place where you can run that. Of course, it won't work because you have to connect to the backend, which currently is not running anywhere else but on my local host. Like it's a bunch of like deployment issues that you're gonna have. You're gonna have the issue of HTTPS. You need to secure your endpoints, which means you need to run caddy in front of them, which means you need to have a domain that you can redirect it to. So it's all kinds of asterisks. But okay, I have this page running here, right? And I have that example file that I just created for like a reason. Oh, okay, that's at least that's correct. Upload a CSV. I have a CSV right here. Okay, this is CSV. Failed. Okay, but the failure is failed to fetch. What does that mean? Oh yeah, because it didn't, of course, it couldn't connect to the endpoint. Okay, so it's doing the right thing. It's taking the file, it tries to upload it, it fails
It's
because
failing in the expected way.
It's successfully failing. Now I have this one saved
Yes.
now. This is already there. So can I now run the backend? Let's see if it runs. Yep, it's oh no. BioLearn datasets. What's happening? No module. But I
BioLearn
don't
datasets.
but I don't
I
care. I
don't
don't
know
want
what
this. It's
I
trying to
don't know what a
learn the
BioLearn datasets is. There is no BioLearn datasets. I guess that's what it's telling us. There is no BioLearn datasets.
no, yeah,
Load
wait,
a
oh.
Horvath clock. What?
Okay, so maybe they don't exist. None
Did
of these
it?
exists.
Uh,
Did it hallucinate its things?
None of those exist. It
That's a
did. You
funny
gave
one.
it the sample, right? The sample
Yeah,
code.
yeah.
Yeah.
They did. So it kind of
I mean, the sample
hallucinated a
code is
bunch
not
of
that
that.
complicated.
Anyway, this doesn't even need to be happening because this is for like a Celery tasks, which we're not going to be running anyway. Like, none of that makes some sense for us. I'll just stop it. Stop. No, stop. Okay, let's see what errors come up. None. Okay, that's good. Where are you running? 8,000. What does this one expect? Expects 8,000. Okay, let's try again. Maybe. I mean, this is the wait, no, this is the wrong file. I actually have the right file. We have it right here. It's where do we save it? There it is. And now, oh shit, right. Try again. Boom. And the error is failed to process, which is failed. Access block. There you
Blocked
go.
by
So
cores.
now we have this issue, which how do I fix it? In fact, now Chrome comes with Gemini built in, so you can just click a button and it asks Gemini how to fix the problem, which is quite nice. I mean, it's free, it just comes for free. It's like, oh, error, just click the button and it tells, oh, it's this is the problem. Why cores
cores
exist?
exists
For
everywhere.
no good reason is the answer, whatever it says here. It's just no good reason. Oh, it's because it's on HTTPS. Okay, right. Okay, let's go back here and let's
Yeah,
reload
we want
this
to use
one.
HTTPU for unsecure.
I wish to want to use like pigeons. Like, how do I move this window? Okay, so what I want to do is I want to reload this because it had crashed. Okay, now it's working, and it's working locally. So this is technically localhost. So
Just so
if
you know, you're under a minute left.
Yeah, well,
I
it's
believe
gonna
in you.
thank
You can
Oh,
do it.
another error.
you. Thanks. Is it course again? Course again. Okay, so we have a course issue. So what do? All right, cool. So as you'll recall, we were at Lovable, and we're at the point of like we can't run this from HTTPS to a local HTTP. So what do? Well, you go here to edit code, you go to GitHub, you go to transfer, which I already click and says blah blah blah, and it's giving me a repo, right? And now I can just go to my terminal and can go, oops, get cool. Oh shit, no, I should be using my SSH. And we get that. Okay. And if we now go to, what's the name again? That's the one. And we go npm install. So Lovable uses this framework called Vite or Vite, depends on how you want to read it, which is kind of React plus something else. And it's actually a pretty nice something else as opposed to Next.js. I don't know if you've ever used Next.js. This is what V0 will give you because it's Vercel. I've had a lot of trouble with it. This one's actually been
I've been away
pretty
from the front end for a really long time.
You've been such a happy person for so long.
I know.
So
I attribute all of my joy in life to that.
Well, now we have this running locally. It's exactly the same thing that
Yay.
we have in here, but now we have it locally, which means that maybe we are lucky and we can just do this. But of course we aren't. Let's see what happens. No, this is impossible. I'm already running it. Like, what? This is localhost. It's blocking. Localhost is blocking localhost. Oh, I need to put a header. All right. Okay. This I can fix. I can fix that. I can go here and go like, yo, got an issue. And so it needs to add the cross origin resource sharing headers to the fast API thing. Where is it? Where is it? It's already configured. Might not be working. What? Allow origins. No, but this is no, it was actually correct. It was already there. No, stop it. Course, course. Let's see. It's middleware. Well, let's see what Chrome is saying. This is basically what I spend most of my time doing, by the way. It's not the coding, it's this. This is the moment where I spend most of the time. Let's try that again. I'm just dragging this up. I can't do it at the same time. I can maybe click select file. Oh yeah, I can click select file. That's nice. In fact, it's gonna be here. Okay. And now we can see it's an internal server error. It's not, of course, anything. And the error is connection refused to localhost. What's it trying to do? What are you trying to do? Oh, it's trying to save it in a database. Okay, fix this by using SQLite. Okay. So I think it was trying to connect to some database that doesn't exist. Yeah, I was trying to use PostgreSQL for no good reason. So we're going to use SQLite. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. This is like the nicest database to use. Unless you're running a deployment for like 10,000 concurrent users, just use SQLite every single time. It's just incredible. And this is going to be one file in my directory, and it's going to be a SQL database that just works.
I think it's kind of weird it's putting it in a database. I would just put it in a directory.
Again, we should have edited that PRD. This is our great learning from today is actually review what it's saying and make sure that it does what you want it to do, etc.
I do have that as a standing policy when I do software work that I review PRDs before working on them.
That's a good one. Yeah. I learned. What's the latest one? Oh, this is a different error. Okay, fix. something to do with the inserting of it. I could, oh, the table doesn't exist. Oh, because it didn't create it. We need to initialize database table, of course.
Or we could just have it put it as a flat file in a folder somewhere.
Or we could do that. But it wouldn't be this much fun, would it? This is so much more fun, right? Right? Um, exactly.
I don't
Okay.
personally like solving technical problems just for the fun of it, but you
Wait,
know, I
wait,
mean,
wait,
I know there
wait.
are people who do, and that's okay for them. You know, whatever floats your boat, that's totally cool.
But hey, hold on, it's pending. It's not failed yet. What's happening? But it's why is it pending so much? Uh-oh.
Function
Uh-oh.
refused.
Operational. What are you trying to get
Kombu.
into? What the
The
hell?
heck is
What are you
Kombu?
doing? What is going on?
Let's see.
It's multiple issues.
I like
also
that it
see,
actually
I also
responds to
see
Yeah,
that.
I
multiple
like that it
issues.
responded. That's great.
Okay, Redis.
Can you just be
Okay.
like, it's broken, fix, 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 fix?
Yes, you can. Also, okay. Get rid of Redis. Get rid of Celery. It's just make it run with flat files in a directory. We don't even need the database. Oh. Cool. All right. It got it.
Well, it says it did.
Let's find out. Cool. Okay, so instead of multi-processing, it's going to be single processing. It's going to store results as JSONs. Okay, file system instead of database. Okay, looking good.
If you use a
Deleting
lot of
this file.
Cursor, how do you handle version control?
What do you mean?
I mean, if Cursor makes changes and you want to
Yeah.
revert, what do you do?
You scroll up, and where it says checkpoint created, you click on restore.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Does
No,
it do, is it using Git or something, or?
So you can use Git yourself. You
Okay.
can create this as a repo.
But it has
if you
its
want.
own like source. It has its own, you know, version
So this is
control.
separate. This is separate from Git. This is its
Yeah.
own. Yeah.
And it
but you
remembers all the
can
changes,
create
all
Git.
the file versions, and it can go back to anywhere. Okay.
Yep. Yep. In fact, you can go back. You can see here the history of conversations, and within that history, you can go and click restore to wherever it was.
I mean,
Does the AI get like a little zap every time you click on restore?
And so it gets angrier and angrier.
Your reward function minus 10.
Exactly. Okay, so seems to have done a thing. Let's see if it works. Started reload. Oh no, no module data. Why do you keep trying to load this? Where is this? Where is this thing? Yeah, core. So clearly that's not a thing, right? That exists. Prepare clock sites. Does this ring a bell for you?
What does it say? No.
That should not be
clock
there, right?
sites. Prepare methylation data for the clock. Read CSV, get clock data, get appropriate clock data and model.
Does this ring a bell at all?
This is not BioLearn code, whatever that is.
No, okay. So all we should do is
So it should instantiate a model gallery and then get the clocks it wants. And then it can call predict using the data.
okay.
But it's going to need to put it into the correct form.
Right.
Which you could maybe show it by showing it the local data loading example.
This one?
No, the if you on your left side, the one at the top.
Okay.
Hey, there's a tiny file example that you might have used.
That you could have told me about, yes.
I forgot I had
that.
Okay.
I think it's too small to give you an answer though. I think it will break, but
yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Where is this even being called? Okay, this is being called. It is being called in upload. What is it preparing? This is process methylation data. What
So
is
I think
it?
it tries to calculate the answers as soon as you upload the file, and then the get is just checking to see if those answers are there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, makes sense now that you explain it. Prepare the methylation data for the clock. And this prepare clock sites. Yeah, but like this doesn't exist apparently.
Yeah.
So how did it?
None of that exists.
Okay, right.
It didn't. I don't think it read the sample, or it didn't use the sample when it made this.
Okay, I'm gonna go. None of this
Exists. Can you just point out the
exists.
sample file again and
You
be like, do it like
hallucinated.
this?
Here, do it like this. And I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna give it that. And that's just the loading of the file, no? All that stuff.
So that will load the file and do
Yeah,
a
yeah. But
quality
we
report
also want
summary, and
to
then that
give
one
it.
will show you how to run the clocks.
Yeah.
Geodata. Well, that looks like good. That looks better.
Okay.
Use geodata. Yep. Simplify prediction process. Imputation is handled automatically.
Yeah, but
yep.
this is still here though. Why is that still there? Oh, because I didn't
Here's
hit
how we
apply.
should
That's
modify the code.
why. Okay, there we go.
Okay, there's using the model gallery. It's still got this pre-processing prepare clock sites. That's not a thing.
That's not a thing. BioLearn datasets. Where? Okay, no module. But where are you trying to? Oh, here it is.
There's also no clock named Skin Blood, so I don't know what that is.
It doesn't look like it's being used anywhere anyways, so maybe that's enough.
Maybe it's fine. Just have some dead code in there. It's not being used, you know.
It sounds so much worse when you
sounds
say
really
it.
metal.
No module name database. Yeah, this is from when we had databases and it hasn't got rid of it. Yeah, again, guys, always make sure to read the PRD before you build anything.
I think we spent more time undoing the
Yeah,
stuff that was in
yeah,
that PRD than building
yeah.
anything related to this application.
100%. Okay, I don't need this. Right. Application exiting. Okay, startup complete. Please work. Please work. Right. It's not currently failing.
Even with AI, it's still, you know, the cost multiplication as you go from requirements to design to implementation to testing still
Wait,
exists.
30.44 years. Woo! Did it.
Bravo.
Bravo.
So did it?
Yeah.
We only went like full way around eventually.
Can you? So I'm not clear. Which clock is it using for this? Because I thought it was using 3 clocks.
That wasn't in the PRD to say what clock it is.
Well, I have no idea what was in the PRD.
Me neither, because I didn't read
it. Sorry, it wasn't there.
Okay, where would I find that? Yo, what clock are you actually using? We're using the mapping. I noticed you need to add the yeah. Oh.
It used a random number generator.
By default. Can you show me? Oh shit, I'm in the wrong. Of course it had no idea what it's doing. Sorry. Never mind. Because I was in chat instead of in composer. Should be in composer. And I go like, yo, what clock are we using? And the answer will surprise you. Let's see.
It's Horvath. Okay.
Okay, makes sense.
So how hard would it be to change this so that it runs all 3 clocks, and then in the UI it says your Horvath age is blah, your Hanem age is blah, and your Pheno age is blah.
3 clocks, return them all in the endpoints. Modified. Okay. It's gonna say 4 though, because it has a skin blood. Oh no, it got rid of it. What's the skin blood?
Don't run the skin blood, whatever
Yeah.
you do.
Don't eat the yellow snow and don't run the skin blood test.
Look not upon the skin blood clock.
Exactly. Give me the API spec to modify the front end. It should just tell me what changed in the endpoint. That's not exactly the spec I was looking for. Yep. This is what I wanted. Oh, sample metadata. This is.
So what's the difference between chat and composer?
So chat is only on the current file unless you hit Command Enter, which will look at all your repo, but it won't be able to modify. It won't be able to create new files. It's not able to run command line like commands. Like it can't add modules with PDM, and it can't create new directories, and it can't list the contents of other files that aren't indexed and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's nothing but disadvantages.
Compared
to
faster.
At this point, yeah, okay. Also that, fair enough. I'm gonna go to, in fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a new window for Cursor. I'm just gonna name my second Cursor window. And I'm gonna open the thing that I downloaded. Where are you? Okay, here. So this is the repo that I got from Lovable. So instead of editing it in Lovable, now I also edit it in Cursor, but locally. And I can get my composer here and I can say, Opa. I don't know what is happening here.
And then do we want to tell it what we want the UI to look like now, or?
I just want to go update the UI to show all the different clocks returned by the endpoint rather than just. Okay, and so now it's going to look at the code base and it's reading the files and it's
I think
figuring
it'll
out
automatically give them names in the UI.
And let's find out if it does it. Another one is when you're just in chat, every single modification, you have to click apply. When you're in Composer, it's automatically applied unless you undo it. So it's really nice for iterating, like when you have the server running and you see the end result all the time. It's really nice to iterate in this way because it automatically updates the preview in the browser. So you go, okay, no, actually change that. Boop. No, but change it again.
Is there a way to configure it to every time it changes something, run the tests, and if it breaks something, either like fix it or
you can do that. You can do that, and in fact, you can tell it to write its own tests, and then iterate until the tests stop failing, which I have done. You can literally in the same window in the composer say, write a whole test suite from this and run it until no more errors, which might be an infinite loop. Because it might never be able to fix. No, it happened to me that it wrote 7 test cases and I went away and I came back and it fixed 5 out of 7 by the time I was back, but it could never do the final 2 ones. And it kept introducing new bugs and stuff. So like you have to stop it,
just
scroll
getting
back.
crazier and crazier.
Yep. That's exactly it. Yes. Okay, so
I've
now
had that. I've gone through that loop where I was manually running it on occasion, where I'm trying to get it to do something that it just can't seem to figure out how to do, and it just kept adding stuff. And I'm like, no, don't do that. That is not a good path.
Yes, that thou shalt.
But if you just let it run on its own, I can only imagine what shenanigans it could get up to in the code base.
Yeah, that's right. So what's it says server error, but which one? What actually happened? It's not telling me.
Do we need to restart? Did we restart the API?
Oh, wait. No. Let's do it. Let me restart it. Okay. That's restarted. And select that. Nope.
Doesn't like that.
Okay. But there are no logs. What logs?
Maybe it has logs. Secret logs.
Ooh, it has secret logs.
It must have a secret log since it figured that out.
The endpoint is using the old version. Okay. Okay, it figured it out itself. Dang. Okay. you done? No, there's more. Yes.
So
it's done.
if you just like said like, once we get it working, just be like, hey, look through the code and find anything that needs to be cleaned up or refactored. Like
success, your biological age has been calculated. What that is? Here's the paywall.
Click here to enter your credit card number.
That's right.
No, we just need your email and social security number. It's fine.
Oh, wait. It removed the skin blood clock time. Woo!
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so
I missed the skin blood clock already.
okay, displaying any of the numbers going back, but so the code looks correct. Does it?
Does it really?
Okay, no, hold on. Uploads, API samples. I just want to see what actually came back. No, look, it came back. It's there.
Yeah.
Age, Hanum, and Horvath. It did it.
Yeah.
So the backend is doing it.
There.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you pay.
It's there, but it's not there.
It's not there. Exactly. That's right. If we're receiving why don't I just give it the data the way it looks? That would be an easy win. The data comes back, looks like wait, is that the right composer window? No, this is the right composer window. Data comes back, looks like this. All right. So I see the issue. All right, it sees the issue. Okay, it's gonna fix it. It's gonna fix it. Fix it. It's going to fix. It's going to fix. It's going to fix. And when it does, this should update as well.
It's really thinking hard about this one.
Ooh, I mean, I pasted a lot of JSON. I get it. All right, okay, yeah, okay. We done?
Still thinking.
Yeah, but nope, it's there. Look, we did it.
Very nice.
Winning! All right, guys, we won. We first ran away, but then we came back and we we won. Cool. We did it. I'll send you the repo if you want to take it and iterate on it. Yeah?
Yeah, sure. I'll take a look.
Cool. And maybe your homework is now make the graphs happen, which at this point is going to be way easier, right? Because it's already sort of working and it's just going to be like on the back end, hey, actually, output the graphs, save them in this directory, make a file for each, blah, 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 send it to the front end, copy paste, front end, display this, right? So should be easy.
Two questions on Cursor, if you don't mind. The first is, can you make composer forget? Like if I'm using Claude or ChatGPT's, it can be very useful to start a new chat because the context is bad. The context has like gone foul.
It's been poisoned.
And like the mental equivalent of stretching your legs and leaving the computer, where like if I'm using an API directly, it's no problem. You rebuild the whole context every time. What are the options in Cursor?
You create a new conversation. It's exactly the same thing. So let me show you again. So am I sharing my screen? I don't
yes,
know.
you're still sharing your screen.
Yep.
I'm still sharing my screen.
I see the calculator.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't even hold on. If I close this, what happens? No, I don't want to leave my meeting. How do I minimize this? They changed things. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, never mind. I'll move this to another window. Okay, so you still see this, yeah? See my
I see nothing.
I see you.
I see
Seth.
4 beautiful faces. That's what I see.
Oh, so I'm not sharing my screen. Which one is it?
No, you were, but now you're not.
Oh, okay. But now I am again.
Yes, you are again.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're back to Cursor. Now this is the front end one and this is the back end one. And you say, okay, you wanted to forget. Well, just click the plus and then you start a new conversation. And that's it.
Can you return to the old conversation, or is it just
So the old conversations
okay, I see.
are stored, but they're not used for any context. So if you want it to have the context of the conversation, you load the conversation again and you continue it.
Okay,
If
so
you want to start from scratch, you just create a new one.
so you start a new conversation in Composer, and I'm guessing Cursor just loads in all of the index for your project, and then I guess other project metadata. But just the conversation itself is gone.
So these are separate things, right? So the index that it has over your files is one thing. The history of edits and conversation with it and all these like checkpoints, that is per conversation that you have.
Yeah. And the index gets prepended to every context window, I'm assuming.
It searches through it. It's not like it's not a whole thing, right? It does RAG. It asks the
that makes
model,
sense.
what should I look for? It looks for it and then it gives it back like what it looked for. So
okay.
it's like a tool.
Last question. You pay for Cursor. What's the best part of paying? It looks like it. Yeah, that's the question.
The best part of paying is how much money you have left over, or how much less money you have at the end.
It's the Folgers in your cup.
But have you put in your credit card here? It's a question.
Like what part do you use? Do you use the O1 calls? Is it the speed of the calls? Like what?
So my understanding is that if you don't pay, you don't actually get Composer Agent, or you only have like a 20 uses or something very limited. Like essentially with like obviously I'm not necessarily affiliated with anyone here, but I have to say I'm very happy to pay the 20 a month I'm paying. So I'm here, and the difference between 20 and 40, well, the difference between 0 and 20, I guess it's this. Oh, the completions, by the way. Completions are using this model called Cursor tab. So this is when you start typing and you just hit tab, 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 and it auto completes for you. That's the completions. So you get 2000 if it's free. Here you can see it's basically you only get 50 slow premium responses, which is everything we're doing here is a premium response. The agent thing is Claude, basically. So everything that's using Claude is like a premium thing, and you get 50 Claude completions, which is going to be very short. It's going to be 2 conversations with Cursor Agent, and that's it, and you're done. And I'm using it the whole time, so it makes sense for me. It's basically, it says here 500 fast premium requests, and it as fast as Claude can get, but unlimited slow ones. So basically, you're just using Claude for free forever. It might get a bit slower, but it's free Claude inside it. And what I also do is you can just not talk about the code base at all and just use Claude. Like this is Claude Sonnet that you can just talk to, like, hey Claude, can you give me like a best man speech for my friend's wedding?
Right.
It's Claude. It's still Claude in there. Like, you're just talking to Claude, so it's the same thing. Yeah.
Does the
yes.
Does the indexing happen only for projects that you like initiate through Cursor, or if you like have an existing repo and will it automatic and you want to work with that? Do you have to tell it like index this thing?
I just tested that. It automatically indexes when you open the folder.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you get a new project going, the first thing it does is it indexes in background.
Yeah.
And my issue, which I mentioned in Slack, is it started indexing my virtual environment because wasn't smart enough to tell it not
I'm
to.
so surprised that that's even a thing. I couldn't imagine it doing that. But here, if you go to, I think, model, maybe there's features. There it is.
Yeah.
So it says here code base indexing, blah, blah, blah. And you can always click this button if it ever screws up.
I'm going to guess it's smart enough to not do that if you build the project in Cursor.
Yeah, I would imagine. Anyway, I've never had an issue with the indexing, so I don't know. For me, it's always just worked fine. I've never had to click any of these buttons, so I have no idea. There's this adding docs thing that some people are using to, great success. I definitely should learn something about that, and I should also review my PRDs before submitting them. And there's this MCP servers, which is actually super powerful, but you need to have like a specific use case. So it's this thing where you can basically add functionality. You can add tools to the model. You can say, here's a tool to set up new meetings in my calendar, or here's a tool to, I don't know, find images on the internet, or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. You can connect an MCP tool to it. which basically runs on your laptop. So for example, I have Claude here, right? And I have created, I have added two tools here, as you can see. One of them is Brave. So I have a local MCP server that actually calls the Brave search endpoint, which is free up to the number of queries. I have like an API key plugged in. Brave search, sorry, this is the one that I was talking about. And I can just go here and go like, can you look up the latest release from Apple, for example, right? And I can ask it that, and it's going to go, well, I need to use web search for that, right? It's like, do you want to allow web search to happen? I'm like, yep, I want you to do this. And so it connects to this tool, which is not part of Claude, which is not part of the Claude app at all, which is a completely external thing, but it does web search, right? It actually goes and searches stuff. I don't even know if this is true, but okay, you will know better. But yeah. Anyway, so that's an example, and you can do it in Cursor. You can add an MCP server like the one I just showed you, but it already does its own web search. So like the things I actually need, it just does them by itself. But yep, might be an interesting way to add functionality. Yeah, and again, the docs thing, I should really look into. You know, people have like the whole PRD properly done. They keep it in a markdown file. The whole like endpoints list, they keep it in a markdown file. So they keep referencing that. And it's much, I guess you control better what it gets as opposed to it reading things and thinking things. Cool. Guys, I'm gonna have to go.
Okay.
Yeah, we're well over time.
This was great.
Thank you for putting this
Thank you.
together. The difference between now and an hour and a
Pleasure.
half ago is I understand Cursor and can probably actually use it.
Fantastic.
So mission accomplished.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely. Could you share with us the recordings?
I intend to put them together and put them on YouTube. Because
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Public. Let's
Yes.
do it. Amazing.
Perfect.
Good stuff. All right, guys. This was awesome.
Thanks, Daniel.
Great seeing you. All right. Speak soon.
All right,
Bye.
see you later.